is still hidden.
Definitely.
We know who brought the beer. We still know what the beer is, because if you're like me, I either didn't wrap these beers or I wrapped them long ago and I don't remember what it was that I wrapped. So it's as much as a surprise for me as it is for you. So let's unwrap this bad boy and see what we got for day. Head on the beer.
Yep, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Well, cheers.
Let's try it. Cheers. It tastes way better than the aroma hints at.
I think it's a little cold.
Det är dags för den åttonde luckan i Ölkalendern. Och jag lovade ju i gårdagens lucka att Martin skulle få vara med. Och här är han igen. Och här har vi Stefan också. So we need to do this in English because Stefan is an American, haven't really
mastered the language yet.
No, so but how many years have you lived there now?
A few. We'll just leave it at that, because it's at that level where it's like people go, oh, for shame.
Yeah.
And
Or
they do.
or you're worried about the customs throwing you out or something?
No, I have citizenship. They can't throw me out. Yeah.
Great. We love to
I
have you
basically
here.
have to like murder someone at this point to get thrown out. So.
Nice. But it's about...
I think a killing spree would actually would be the...
That might do it.
Yeah, that would do it.
But it's about time that Björnguiden becomes the bear guide.
Yeah. Well, maybe 2021 will be the year when I go internationally.
I think more of an otter.
So these guys, they are the faces behind the podcast, What's on Tap podcast, and that has really been a true delight during these dark months of the Corona year. And right now they're shooting their version of a beer calendar. I also thought that it would be fun to try some beers with them, because that's what you normally do on your podcast.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah,
that is kind of our MO.
The advent calendar is you choose one randomly selected beer. You each brought 12 beers to the bag, and so you pick one randomly, and you judge it, and you don't know.
We basically tried to outdo the other person. So I want to impress Stefan with the beers I've wrapped and put into the bag. I want him to open it and go either wow or go whoa, like either surprise or fear or happiness.
And but a normal episode would be 2 beers.
Yeah, 2 beers
that you normally rate and discuss.
I mean, way before Corona and stuff, we used to go out to actual bars and say, "Hey, what's on tap?"
Yeah.
And actually review places. But
I brought 2 beers for you today. You have treated me with some nice beers over the year, but today I brought 2 for you, and a brewery that's really been an enjoyment for me this year. I had a lot of beers from this brewery, and now we leave. I'm trying to focus on Sweden this advent calendar, but today we're going abroad, and it's this brewery, Track. Yeah. And I try double IPA is the beer that I would like you to try. It's brewed with Idaho 7, Cryo, Mosaic, and Strata.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
And let's remind us where Track is from.
They're from the UK.
Manchester or Leeds or Newcastle.
Yeah. What's your pick?
Bristol.
No, because they're in the MLN, so they collaborate with 2 other breweries.
I think they're in Manchester. I don't think.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
1 point for Stefan. That was only also one fun thing we did during this year. You had finally another episode of Game of Beers
with you,
with me. And it was a battle between me and Martin.
Remind the viewers who won that challenge.
Let's go to the beer here.
I've forgotten who won. Could it have been Martin?
Someone said that was the best game of beers that was played all year.
Yeah.
It definitely was.
It was sure fun. Martin won that one.
By 1 point.
Yeah.
But we both nailed Timmermans Creek just by smelling it.
Just on the road.
That was very impressive, I have to say. I was completely shocked you guys were able to just clean house on that.
But since it's Christmas and we're making wish lists, what we want for Christmas, but I would like to make a wish for 2021. And it's for me, jumping in, hosting an episode of What's on Tap podcast with you two battling out a game of beers.
Oh, that would be fun. We can definitely do
That
that.
would be fun, because before I became a co-host, I did Game of Beers for you and Matthias.
Yes.
But you and I have never battled in Game of Beers.
We have not. Do you
Now we have eye to eye
Yes.
glasses. So let's see what the gentlemen of What's on Tap podcast thinks of this. Got some in my mustache.
Rich and creamy.
Yeah.
Like some kind of acidic fruit. It's not citrus.
It goes into that tropical spoiled fruit kind of.
Spoiled fruit.
Flavors.
So mango?
There is a certain hop strain. I don't know which one it is. And maybe it's the Idaho 7 Cryer or something, but it has this kind of. I think it's sometimes often referred to as like baby diapers, spoiled fruit or something.
Thank you for that image.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't come up with these descriptors. I just read them on tap, and I'm kind of like, who's doing these tastings? It's kind of like, oh, this tastes like hay and wet dirt, and like, who's eating this stuff? I mean,
I like this one.
When you say spoiled fruit, what I'm hearing is overripe fruit. That's almost going into bad.
Like overripe fruit that might be becoming a little fermented, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's really, really mushy, and the sugars are really breaking down and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. I'm not saying it's sugary. I'm just saying it has that kind of tropical fruit that's overripe kind of flavor.
I like it.
Mm.
When you say baby diapers, that's not a good sign. But overripe fruit, that's still well.
I've seen it in the
within-
same I've seen it in the same descriptor profile kind of thing, and it's just kind of it's just kind of like this. It's not really like a gagging kind of smell, but it's like this weird off smell kind of thing. If you ever change diapers, you know what that thing is.
Well, you're the only father in
Yeah.
this crowd, as we know. But
that we know of.
Yeah, so frequent listeners of What's on Tap podcast have started having a bingo sheet where if we ever say, "Oh, it smells like tropical fruit," that's a bingo score for sure. When we
I would say this is definitely effervescent.
effervescent, if we ever say effervescent, that's enough.
the buzzing sound from Stefan's phone.
No, yeah, we have to turn off the vibrate, and it's like.
Oh, there we have it. And Track was one of my great amusements during this year.
This is another brewery that it's been around for a couple of years. They've just been okay.
Yeah.
But then, like in the past year, I don't know if they got new brewers or new brewing facility or whatever, but they really created some great beers in the past year.
Yeah. And of course, I had to bring something that I know that you like also. A brewery that's been a big amusement for you during this.
That's another
year.
bingo square. Whenever we say something good about the Moersleutel from Netherlands,
This
bingo.
This is a special Moersleutel because it's a local. It's got some local influences there.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we have the double roast planadas. And this is Imperial Coffee Stout with coffee from Coffee Collective in Denmark.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
From Copenhagen, yeah.
Yeah, so
That looks rich and coffee-ish. Have you had a lot of Moersleutel? Is that are you a big fan, or are you?
I really like them. I haven't had that much as you had them. I recently had like a spicy Mexican.
Mexicake or whatever.
Yeah, Mexicake.
Mexi, something like
Yeah,
that.
which was really nice, really good balance in the habanero. but I really like their heavy, a bit oily.
So
stuff.
motorolje and smearolje.
Yeah, that's the name of them. It's been a while since I had something a bit more hoppy and juicy.
Well, they haven't really started putting out their IPAs until recently. They've been mostly, at least as far as export to over to this part of the world, it's been mostly their stouts.
Dark, strong, or heavy. Choose two or three.
Yeah, the combination there.
But their IPAs aren't bad, but they're not world class. They are really world class when it comes to.
Yeah, again, their fruited beers are also they're okay, but
nothing wrong with them.
Yeah. But when you think the Moersleutel, it's their stouts. That's where the money is.
Specifically candy stouts.
Yeah. Well, I really like them. I think it's the most fun and interesting brewery right now in the Netherlands. So I'm intrigued having one more.
Yeah.
So
cheers.
The aroma is heavily coffee.
It's like coffee and kind of licoricey.
There's some candy, licorice,
rubber, and
sweetness,
tire, and
rubber.
I don't know. I just love people to come up with all these like bizarro.
So it's a very roasty flavor, with a twinge of. It's not sour, but coffee samt bitterness.
Yeah.
This there is a word for it. I just can't remember it.
It is. You're right. There is a bit of bitterness to it, and it kind of edges on that stout sour that you get sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. It's almost there, but not quite. But definitely has a nice, deep, rich. Coffee flavor. This is definitely a beer that if you don't like coffee, you do not want to drink this because you're going to hate it.
So this is not a beer for our friend Lennart, who's also in our beer tasting club.
I had to Google it. So Swedish garvsyra is the remainder of old coffee. It's tannic acid.
Tannic acid, yeah.
That's what's showing up. So it's not sour, but I have to say it's really fun to be on Björnguiden for real and not just passing by on a festival. Because we've both been on Björnguiden, but kind of peripherally in between cool interviews with actual brewers who actually do some good for the beer world.
I think the last time I was on the episode, you were being interviewed, and then I just kept walking up behind you for like almost the entire interview.
Goofing off is the right.
Because you guys didn't notice me for almost the entire time that you were doing the interview.
You always give the beers a untapped grade also. So what would you give I try from Track?
A week 4.
Yeah, I would go 4 on that one as well. It was very tasty. I like the smell. It's hitting those tropical notes. It's really nice beer.
Yeah. And he started talking about diapers, so that's why it's a week 4.
No, tropical fruit.
It's
slightly spoiled.
To be fair,
smell.
It smells better now when I had the coffee beer.
Yeah.
The aroma is better now.
I really like the aroma and the flavor. I think it's a very good beer.
Yeah. It's changed from a weak 4 to a strong 4.
Great. Middle of the road 4.
And double roast blanc from the Moersleutel. Which means the Moersleutel is some kind of wrench, right?
Yeah, it's the wrench.
Yeah.
So it literally translates to.
Yeah. So skiftnyckel as well.
But I think actually this is a socket wrench if you wanted to be specific on the wrench type here.
So Slutel is key.
Yeah. Well, if you know Swedish, German, and English, the Dutch language is quite easy to break down.
You just combine everything into a big thing, and then you introduce guttural sounds.
Yeah.
And you add a lot more Z's to all the words.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of Z's in.
And okay, we derailed a bit here. But
what did you give the IPA?
I would give it to 425.
Oh, nice.
I really liked it. Rich in the mouthfeel and didn't get the baby diapers. A lot of I can see the ripe fruit in it, but good tropical, rich mouthfeel flavor.
Yeah.
And the Moersleutel then, what?
Either 4 or 4.25 for me. I don't know.
I think it's really good. Unfortunately, I'm going to give it a 3.75. I think that the more I drink it, the more coffee-ish it becomes, and the drier it becomes. And it's like, I like it, and I'm glad that I've tried it, and I feel like this, however many centiliters that I'm getting here, is as much as I want to drink of it.
Yeah.
And that for me is kind of like, it's, I've had so many Moersleutel's where I've just been like, I just can't quit drinking this. And this one I'm kind of like, I'm good. This is enough. This is just the amount that I need.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving it a 3.75.
That's true, and I think that goes together with, historically, I've liked coffee beers more where they have this cold coffee that's been sitting around. I'm the kind of guy who can I'll take my old coffee cup and just drink it.
God, that's so
And
like room temperature coffee is one of the worst things. That, like either make it like ice cold or make it hot. But just something that's been sitting around like for an hour, just like the room temperature.
Yeah.
Oh, so
this
phenols on a chalkboard to me.
So this reaction explains the difference in rating, because we're usually quite synced.
Mm-hmm.
It's these fringe flavors.
We've been hanging out so much that we've really synced up, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes. What would you give it?
I would give it. I was planning on saying something that shouldn't be on the blog,
Okay.
but
See, we were inferring without having to say it. I'm going to put words on it.
We are
I will
more
cut that up.
sophisticated.
Yeah. We're keeping it classy over here.
Oh,
I would give this week 4. That bit sour note in there coming from the coffee bitterness is on a good day I can live with it. On a bad day it's getting a bit too much. But I think a glass like this is enough. I don't think I want to drink a whole can.
I could drink a whole can. I don't want to drink a whole can.
Yeah. So thanks, Martin and Stefan, for participating in my beer calendar.
Thank you for
calendar
having us.
this year.
Appreciate it.
And now it's my turn to record some episodes on your calendar. See what mystery beers you have. And so go in and listen to What's on Tap podcast, and you always finish with where you can find them: iTunes, Spotify, whatever.
Yeah, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can find quality podcasts.
Did we ever get into the Apple podcast?
Oh yeah, we're in Apple. We're actually in Apple and Google, and I think Amazon as well.
Oh.
Google has a podcasting service?
Google's had a podcasting service for years. They just haven't opened it up to Europe until recently. I think was it Apple or Amazon that was the newest one? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah. So we're on both of those as well.
Yeah.
Look them up wherever, whatever platform you are using.
Yeah, any platform you listen to podcasts on, you can find What's on Tap.
And so let's see what episode of their beer calendar that I will show up in, or be heard.
It's the extra Advent surprise.
Yeah, we want you to keep coming back for more calendar days.
I'm surprised you finished that sentence. The more calendar dates.
What?
Nothing.
That was way over my head.
If you review that sentence, you'll get the joke.
Well, as Martin's brain office is working, I will sign out and say thank you, and once again thank you to you guys for joining me in this episode, and see you tomorrow, and cheers and Merry Christmas.
And as we say on What's on Tap podcast, keep drinking, you dum-dums.
Okay.